I'm Jeanelle Slade. We are live tonight from the Billings Clinic to meet the new CEO of the state's largest healthcare system. We'll tell you what he has planned for his people and his patients.
Powered by the Montana Television Network. This is the 5:30 News on Q2, Montana's news leader.
Good evening, everyone, and thanks for joining us. I'm Russ Riesinger. We'll check back in with Jeanelle in just a moment. First, though, Billings police are investigating a body that was found in a city garbage truck this morning. Billings City solid waste workers found that body among the trash in that garbage truck shortly after 9 a.m. Now they're trying to figure out who it was and how they ended up there. Billings Police Lieutenant Brandon Woolley said in a tweet the investigation is ongoing. Q2's Mitch Legge standing by now with more. Mitch?
Well, Russ, Billings sanitation workers found the body amongst trash while the truck was at the city landfill. Detectives were on scene for approximately 5 hours investigating. In a tweet, Billings Police Lieutenant Brandon Woolley said the body was identified as a male and that the investigation into his death is ongoing. Billings Public Works, the city department that operates the truck, declined to comment on the death, but they did say that day-to-day operations at the landfill were not affected by the investigation. The truck, wrapped in police tape, was equipped with 2 forks on its front for picking up larger dumpsters. The truck's daily route is not known at this time. And this isn't the first time a death has been associated with the Billings City garbage truck. In 2009, 22-year-old Adam Davis was thrown in a garbage truck while sleeping in a dumpster behind the McDonald's on Grand Avenue. Davis was killed inside the truck's compactor. Russ?
All right, thank you, Mitch. Well, the Montana Public Service Commission has voted to allow Northwestern Energy to keep secret the price of a new coal supply contract for the Colstrip power plants. Northwestern and other utilities that operate the Colstrip plant signed the 5-year contract with the Rosebud coal mine in December. But Northwestern said the price of the coal is a trade secret and should not be revealed to the public during an upcoming rate case. The commission did say its staff will examine the contract to see if certain portions could be made public. Environmental and consumer groups and ratepayers had asked to reveal the coal price. They said the public should know what additional cost Northwestern is asking them to pay if it buys more of the Colstrip plant for $1.
What's usual about a public utility proposing to buy a larger share of a major generating plant that its current owners believe is only worth $1? And what's usual about a transaction that hides the most important financial factor in determining whether it's a good investment or a fiasco that Montanans will pay for decades?
The PSC will be reviewing Northwestern's proposal to buy an additional 25% share of Colstrip 4 and assume the operating costs. Dozens of drivers are blowing right past an age-old law in Montana that's putting our children's lives at risk. But legally, can drivers even get in trouble for it? MTN Investigates is taking an in-depth look at why it's so hard to convict those who run stop arms on Montana school buses. Here's MTN Chief Investigative Reporter Andrea Lutz with a look at what's to come.
A common traffic tool is being ignored dozens of times a day by Montana drivers, and it's putting our children's lives at risk. So MTN Investigates is taking a closer look at which communities are tackling awareness for the issue, but also how existing Montana law could be preventing drivers from being held accountable. For this story, we take you to Montana's mining city, where Butte school transportation officials are ahead of the curve, trying to be proactive about drivers in their community who are running school bus stop arms. They installed stop arm cameras at the beginning of the school year and say it's helped. They're bringing the number of people running those signs down, and they're learning more about it. Still, there's a glitch in the system, preventing Butte from actually convicting people of doing this because of the way Montana law was written. We hear from a Montana lawmaker who tried to make this violation something that couldn't be ignored by even a camera, but the bill did not make it far. Butte School District officials say since installing the cameras, they've caught 130 drivers on tape running their school bus signs. And you won't believe the lengths some are going to get around stopping. Tonight, during my investigation, Red Means Stop, I'll tell you if their mission is working. Back to you.
And Andrea's latest MTN Investigate story, Red Means Stop, airs tonight at 10. And her story is online right now on KTVQ.com. All right, turning to the weather now. Chief Forecaster Bob McGuire joining us. And Bob, still possibly more cold and snow ahead tonight.
Yeah, well, you know, it was 14 degrees above zero in Billings last night, so kind of a cold night. But look what's happening up across the High Line. That's another wind chill advisory up there until tomorrow morning from 8 a.m. tonight until about tomorrow morning about 11 a.m. Look for wind chills to 30 below zero up there. Man, that's going to be cold. Now, meanwhile, back here across the rest of our region, you can see that area in purple. That's where the cold Arctic air is. Got some snow over there by Kalispell, Missoula, and Great Falls, and the jet stream is taking that snow and pushing it right on into our area. So here's what's going to happen tonight. You'll see the scattered snow showers will kind of move into the Billings area, then drop down out of here, and then the cold Arctic air, that starts draining away on Wednesday, and certainly again by Thursday afternoon, that whole thing kicks out of here. So just be patient. The cold Arctic air is on the way out. We'll have more on that come your way in a few more minutes.
All right, thank you, Bob. Montana Republican Representative Rodney Garcia has been under scrutiny lately for comments he made earlier this month. Republican leaders called for his resignation after Garcia said, quote, socialists should go to prison or be shot. Well, Garcia decided he will not resign from his House seat representing Billings South Side, and yesterday he opened up to Q2 about those comments, but stopped short of apologizing. Today, MTN's Jennifer Hausman spoke with Great Falls representatives for further action.
I sat down with Great Falls representatives Ed Buttry and Barbara Bissett. Republican Representative Buttry says Garcia's decision to stay on is exactly that, his decision.
So I think that leadership was completely within their rights to ask for the resignation, and Rodney was within his rights to say, no, I'm going to run for the Senate and let the voters make the decision.
Both Republican and Democratic representatives agree that Montana has more important things to be dealing with right now.
It's unfortunate that this is what we're dealing with now. We have a lot of other issues. We've got the economy, we've got our revenues, we've got health care, we've got a tremendous drug addiction problem in Montana, and you know, to have to deal with this is just unfortunate.
I do believe that inciting any kind of violence against anybody, I mean, if it's someone you disagree with, sometimes agree with, however politically you align, politically you don't align, is alarming and should not be done.
Garcia is also running for the Montana State Senate. Both representatives I spoke with say, as far as that race goes, the most important thing that people can do now is get out and vote. Reporting in Great Falls, I'm Jennifer Hausman with MTN News.
Well, it wasn't the first time that Garcia has made comments saying that socialists should be jailed or shot. Q2 found video that was posted on YouTube back in November where Garcia makes essentially those same comments. The VA clinic buildings now bear the names of two war heroes from eastern Montana. At a renaming ceremony today, Benjamin Steele and Chief Dr. Joseph Medicine Crow were honored by veterans, family, and friends. All three congressmen, Senator John Tester, Senator Steve Daines, and Congressman Greg Gianforte, paid tribute to the Army veterans.
What puts a smile on my face to think about when Montana veterans walk through the doors of this clinic. They were reminded of the heroism and the legacy of these great Montanans who persisted in the face of extreme hardship and struggle.
The heroism of these two men is without question. And as we continue to enjoy the freedoms that we have in this country, we can never forget the sacrifice that's come before.
A great day in Montana. Couldn't have gone to two finer individuals. And it goes on a couple buildings that are here to help our veterans, them being both veterans and sacrificed much in the military. Now their name hangs on two buildings that are going to help veterans with any problems that they may have moving forward.
The specialty clinic will be designated in honor of Steele, and the outpatient clinic is being named for Medicine Crow. The Montana VA serves some 50,000 patients per year. There's more news from across our state on the MTN 9 o'clock news. Some scary moments on the campus of Montana State University as police shut down a parking lot to investigate a piece of war memorabilia. Join me for that and much more on the MTN statewide news tonight at 9 on the CW. But first, still to come on tonight's 5:30 news, we're going to go live to the Billings Clinic and hear from the new CEO at the hospital. And later in sports, our latest athlete of the week has been beating people on the lanes for generations, and she's showing no signs of slowing down.
You're watching MTN News with Jeanelle Slade and Russ Riesinger. Storm Tracker weather with Bob McGuire. And sports with Scott Green. This is the 5:30 news on Q2, Montana's news leader.